What's up, guys? We got John Wiggins over here from an Elite Exotics, so this should be pretty exciting. I have a quick, big announcement. If I can hit 419 subscribers on this live, I will be giving out a free shirt for all the live members. We'll be doing a spin to win, and I will give out one free shirt. So if we can hit 419 subscribers at some point, I'll be giving out a free shirt, guys. So check that out. We'll also be doing the 500 subscriber giveaway as well. So here's the information on that. So thank you to all those sponsors and stuff. Without further ado, I'm going to roll that intro. And we're going to bring John out, guys. So here we go. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Welcome to the 419 Morse podcast. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. First interview here, a little nervous, but I'm ready.
Hey, man, it's a podcast to be on, man, for sure, for sure. So if you guys didn't notice with the intro, John has a pastel zebra, and he also has a monsoon. So we are talking elite things here for sure. So how are you guys doing? Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for sure. So what are your plans for the zebra, man?
Well, I got him going to my clowns back there. They're doing the thing where they roll up on their back and their belly and stuff and kind of nesting, just waiting on eggs.
Just waiting on eggs, huh? So do you have a male or a female?
A male.
You have a male. See, I have a female, but it's all I could afford at the time. I mean, those things, we all know those things go for big money right now. So, but you got in early. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see where that project goes. Where do you think that project's going, man?
I think it's going to be the next big hot gene. I've seen a lot of, I really liked the one Adam has of the Orange Dream mixed in there with it of the zebra.
Yeah.
I thought, man, that one is really cool. And I was like, I want one of those, but yeah, that was a little bit more, and I didn't quite have that much.
Right. Did you end up going to Tinley?
No, I didn't make it to Tinley. I haven't made it anywhere there.
No, so Adam they had him and Steve Morse. Well, I mean, Steve Morse was showing his stuff. I mean, they had a lot of zebra stuff there. I think it's going to be the next big thing too. I know people are comparing it to the striker gene a little bit. Are you aware of that?
No, I wasn't.
So look up the striker gene. It's kind of similar, but it's not. In my opinion, the blacks are deeper in the zebra. You get more blushing. You get a better pattern overview on this. It's a big difference. Me and Carr did compare because Carr is one of my dudes. Carr will be back on the podcast next week. Because real quick, we are doing a free for all podcast. So anybody that wants in on this podcast, shoot me a message or comment on this podcast right now, and I will for sure write your name down to give you a freaking invite for that. So we'll be talking all kinds of topics with that, with different breeders and stuff. So that would be a good time. But anyhow, so Will says Jaguar also spoken of in the same discussion as the striker and zebra. Will, I see the Jaguar resembles the zebra a little bit more as the striker. I do not think they are the same because you get more of a green color out of the Jaguar with combos as you don't see that so much with the zebra. That is my personal opinion with having one and researching it. So that's what we're going to go with that. I also seen that you have a monsoon. So talk about your monsoon, man.
Well, that started out. I bought a Coral Glow Mystic, and it was supposed to be a male. And I was like, all right. And I raised it up, got it big enough where it was about, I don't know, 1,500 grams. And then I started sticking it in stuck a male in there, and or I've stuck a female. I stuck that one in with the female, and I noticed they both kind of just separated and curled up on their own. And I was like, this has got to be a female. And I decided, I'm going to buy a het monsoon a male from Dave, and I got the calico that was on Morph Market. I could pull it out if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, let's see it, man. Let's see this stuff. We're all about seeing friggin' fire, combos and whatnot.
Yeah, here he is, right here. This is my calico het monsoon that I got from Dave, and this guy, he's just good work. He's a good breeder. He gets in there and gets it done.
So is that what you use to make your visual monsoon with?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's 100% het monsoon for 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, the female was there was a male that turned out to be a female. She was only a 50%, but I thought as a male 50%, I didn't have no coral glow or banana in my collection, so I thought that'd be kind of cool if eventually something popped out like a monsoon. And it turned out to be a female, and I actually hit 3 monsoons in that clutch.
Damn.
But 2 of them were dead in the egg.
Oh man, that's crazy.
The best one did survive, and
so about to pull out monsoon real quick. What you guys saw in the intro?
Like it just right.
Oh and yeah. So that's a banana monsoon calico?
Yeah, Mystic.
Oh, Mystic.
Calico.
Okay.
Yeah, all the genes. The one that survived was the all-gener. So I got lucky on that, and it's a female.
Oh, so, you can't beat that.
Yeah, future project for the zebra too. I'm gonna stick the zebra to her when she gets big enough and old enough, and she's a really good eater.
Oh, for sure.
She's over there. She's kind of curled up. I'd pull her out, but she's I bred her this year, and she looks like she's gonna go right back to might lay a clutch. She's acting like it, bull wrapping and whatnot.
For sure. So I wanted to get a little bit into your background a little bit before we continue this interview and showing off snakes. So how do you first start into breeding? Because I know that you have just about as much subscribers as I do on YouTube, which is about 400 or so, which I'm really surprised with how you what you have and stuff, man. I mean, that's why I had to bring you on this podcast and stuff. So if you guys haven't already, I mean, make sure you guys subscribe to Elite Exotics, man. I mean, that is just insane. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, man?
Well, my daughter, she's not in here, but she's over there in the house. She got given a black pastel from one of her friends, and my wife had always told me, no snakes, no snakes. And I was like, all right. She's, I don't care if they're lizards or whatnot, but no snakes. And once my wife allowed my daughter to have a snake, it was like, really? Well, I'm getting a snake, and I put it in the room. And she didn't like that because she don't really care for snakes. She's coming around now since I've been in this a few years. But at first, she's no snakes. And after that, I told her to take it out of the room. I'll put it in the shed. And she goes, you can have as many snakes as you want out there. So it was like, it's on. And
right.
I started mostly with hets. I got a spider het sunset up there. And that was one of the first projects that I got into. And she's only produced me one clutch, and it was with a pause het, an inchy pause het sunset. And he didn't prove out with that first clutch. It was only 3 eggs, so it wasn't real good odds anyway. And I took that whole clutch and I sold it to a friend back east. And since then, I paired her up every year since then, and she just hasn't laid a clutch. This year, she looks like she's going to go, but I got 100% het male sunset from Cusco. And she looked like she's getting ready to lay eggs too. So I'm hoping to hit a sunset. And,
so do you have a sunset male then sitting there?
No visual sunset yet.
So did you go het sunset to het sunset?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and you never hit the sunset yet.
Yeah. Only 3 eggs, and all of them hatched, all healthy.
Okay, so I have to ask you, with the sunset prices dropping, as everybody knows that's been following Morph Market and stuff like that, are you just gonna buy the visual?
If I don't hit this year, there's a possibility, but I got a lot of different recessive projects going already anyway, and I started mostly with hets. Like
Okay.
I bought I started buying with I got an orange dream double het DG pied from a local guy up here who breeds, and I got a really good deal on it. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'll get it. And that was before I started understanding, get the females first and this and that.
Right.
And I looked on Morph Market, and this is before COVID, so they weren't like crazy prices. And I got 2 females. It cost me like $1,900 for 2 females that were double het, one pastel, one super pastel, double het DG pied. And I hit 3 desert ghosts in that clutch, and 1 pied. So I was like, all right, cool. They're double hets, and I'm hoping they look like one of them looks like they're going to go this year again. So I'm hoping to hit a desert ghost pied. I was hoping my desert ghost would shed out, but she's in shed right now.
I mean, they're always in shed. They're always in shed when you want to show them, man.
Yeah,
For sure. I mean, 100%. So I have to ask you, how many clutches did you have, say, this year or last year? Like, where are you averaging right now?
I only had 2 clutches last year, but I moved up here and I kind of set things back a little bit. I had an albino clutch, and I got them sitting here. I haven't even posted them yet. I've just been crazy busy, so it's just haven't had a chance.
Right. I get that. So how many snakes in total are you working with John?
I think I got about 58 right now.
You got about 58, and they about half and half with males and females.
I'm mostly female heavy.
You're female heavy, so it seems like that you're female heavy, but your powerhouses are a little bit in your males.
Not yeah. I guess my zebra is my only real powerhouse right now.
Right. Okay. So what are your power, like what are, all right, besides your zebra, your sunset, and your monsoon, like what other genes do you work with?
I got clown in there, and puzzle. I got a puzzle one I'm trying to work to see if this female will prove out to be female or prove out to be puzzle. And there's a couple of them. Let's see, puzzle, doesn't go pine, sunset. Oh, let's see right here. Oh, and Exanic, VPI Exanic too. I picked up a male VPI Exanic clown on Morph Market a while back, and I wanted to prove out the VPI Exanic with a clown, but I got the zebra. I was going to do that pairing this year, but I ended up pairing the zebra to her. Hoping to get some zebra.
So you like the pastel and the zebra, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm not a big pastel fan. I have seen them in zebra as they age. I mean, I can't say I really like it too much. So I got a single gene zebra as well. She did just shed. So I'm going to show you guys her real quick so you guys can see what the pastel does to the zebra. I know we had this question on the other podcast as well. Pastel everything car, get out of here. So we have a single gene zebra. Very high quality from Adam himself as well.
Very cool.
Love it. Love it for sure. And she is sitting at about 1,200 grams last time I weighed her just last week. So that will be exciting. Except the only difference is with your pairing, and I mean, you have a male, obviously. Do you have any DG stuff?
Yeah, I could pull her out. She's in shed, but
Is she?
Yeah, she's just about to shed out. but it's an Orange Dream pastel Desert Ghost 100% hit pied.
Oh, hell yeah.
I just had her tested, sent in the shed and did the whole tested thing. And yeah, she's pretty mellow. I pull her out a lot. She's one of my favorites.
For sure.
And
So
then I got her.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
And I got her sister as well. And her sister.
Uh-oh, we're having laggy issues here. Oh, I think you're lagging, John.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can hear you, but you're just a little laggy. Hang on. There we go. We got you.
And this is the she's an Orange Dream pastel pied, 66% hit Desert Ghost. They need to hurry up and get that Desert Ghost test up there so we can start sending Desert Ghosts.
Yes.
And yeah, she's sitting at about 1,300 grams. I don't know if she'll produce this year, but she does eat like a little pig. So
does she?
Oh,
yeah, I have a. All right, we're back to regular now. We're back to just quit lagging real quick, so we're good. StreamYard's having a little bit of problems lately, so I've been told on Ken's podcast. I tuned into them as you did as well. See, I have a hypo pie that's being a freaking cunt. Like, she will not freaking eat. She's on and off. I mean, she's just being slow. I'm like, come on. I mean, you guys know, like, as you guys know, and I don't know if you know or not, like, I'm a big Hypo DG fan as well. So, I mean, that's insane. We're going to have Carr back on next week, guys. That's where he's been hiding. He's been taking like a 2-week break. We're going to be doing the free-for-all. Any breeder that wants to come on, talk snakes, talk topics, come on to the podcast. Let's go. That's what we're about. Ken, or I mean, not Ken, sorry. John, I know Ken's going to be back on from Hessen or Shane. I'm freaking terrible at names sometimes. Heads and Tails, like Shane's going to be on. I know Ken's going to be come back on. We did a podcast together. Would you like to come back on for the free-for-all, man?
Sure. Why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll definitely
like
send you an invite. Like, we're going to, like, normally, like, we do like an hour and a half. We're going to exceed that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. We're just going to talk, you know, topics, morphs, where everyone's breeding plans are like where we think the industry is going. It's going to be a great time. So for sure, dude, it's going to be fun.
Definitely.
So, so where do you plan on taking the Monsoon at?
Well, when she gets old enough, yeah, I want to stick her to the Zebra, and then, you know, work from there and see what happens. Hopefully I hit a Sunset. I'd like to hit a male Sunset too. I mean, a Sunset Monsoon. I think I saw one of those a while back or something that looked close to it, and I thought, man, that'd look pretty cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I was thinking about, I personally, like, I want to buy into the Sunset, but I just want to, like, the way the prices are going and stuff, I want to buy a visual. So I want to buy a male, and I'm thinking like the same thing as you as well. The Zebra and the Het Monsoons throw a crazy Het marker. I don't know, dude. Like, is Monsoon really recessive? I don't know, man. Like, you guys, I honestly don't know. Like, the way that the Het Monsoons are with their markers and shit like that. I mean, it's insane. I almost want to believe it's a Kodam, maybe. Instead of, and then your super form is the Monsoon, you know, but I'm still going to treat it as a recessive as such until it's proven otherwise, because I don't have Monsoon. So that's just my two takes on it. What are your takes on it?
Well, when I got the Coral Glow Mystic, I did a lot of research, and I kept looking at other bananas and Coral Glows that were 100% Het Monsoon. And I noticed how wonky the pattern kind of got and some of the other stuff. And I was like, I'm almost positive this snake is going to turn out to be Het Monsoon. And well, it did. It was a surprise though. I was super excited. I think it was like an Easter weekend or something, and we were going to the coast, and I'd cut the eggs, and I was like, I could see in one. I was like, that looks like a monsoon. Like all the whole weekend, that's all anybody heard about was, I think I hit a monsoon.
Yeah, dude, for sure, man. I like monsoon, but at the same point in time, I do believe it's kind of like pinstripe. It's hard to manipulate that pattern. It's more wild than monsoon for. I mean, sorry, it's more wild than pinstripe for sure. You got more potential with it, but I think you need to go more of the color palette on it than you do the pattern. I don't think you can manipulate the pattern of the monsoon for sure, but the heads throw a major head influence on that monsoon type look, and so does the zebra. If you guys go on Morph Market and look at the het zebras, it's almost similar to the visual zebra, but it's not quite the same. They do blow out the pattern. Zebra, ages very well, as I'm sure as John can, as you can, can say as well, having a pastel zebra. I mean, it just gets better and better with age as well. So I don't think the hets would as much, but I mean, there is a difference with the blush, on them, and the pattern being blown out. So I mean, it's quite interesting to see where these two projects are going to go.
Definitely. Yeah, when I talked to Adam, he was saying it's a brightening gene, and I was excited about that because I like the brightening genes. I like snakes that really pop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, want me to pull out the zebra?
Yeah, let's see the zebra. So here we have a zebra pastel. It's just a zebra pastel, correct?
Yeah.
So you want to add pastel to my single gene zebras is what you're going to get. Pastel makes it really pop.
Get his head in there.
How much does he weigh?
I think he's sitting right at about 1,100 grams.
Like 1,100 grams, huh?
Oh, he's a good eater too. I'll pair him up, and then on the week I'll take him out and I'll stick him in his tub and throw a rat in there, and he'll eat the thing. He'll slam it down. He's a good eater.
My zebra is a massive eater. She is about honestly, I think she's about a little over a year old now, and she's already sitting at 1,200 grams, you guys. I'm not going to push her because that's just not how I am. So I will breed her come in the fall. I'm going to be making triple recesses off of her. Car reptiles will be getting one pair of that if I can hit the odds of it. So obviously, you guys have known that I have. We are talking about elite things over here because it's elite exotics. So, like with the zebra, I'm taking it to the leopard DG Hypo. I am a big DG Hypo fan. I love it. I'm DG Hypo fucking everything. So I'm going to show you this male that we're going to breed her to, because we are all about quality or not quantity. So I put my money where my mouth is at times with quality. So you have the leopard DG Hypo boy that she will be put to. You cannot argue that pairing at all. So that'll be fun. That'd be a great pairing. That's what I'm going to do with my zebra. Ken obviously has a male. What else are you going to pair that male to, man?
I paired him up to a super vanilla, and let's see, the pastel Enchi. She's acting like it. I stuck him in there for like just an afternoon, and then I was like, no, I'm going to put him with something else. I didn't see a lock, but she's acting like she wants to lay eggs. So
yeah,
they might have locked. What else I stuck into? Yeah, just those four. Yeah, I just paired him up to those four.
Right, for sure. So how long have you been breeding for?
Well, my first year I got in, I got a breeder size female, just a regular old lemon blast, and I started right there. I got my male was big enough. I had a couple males, and I was more male heavy then. But yeah, I decided to pair a male up to her, and I think it was an Enchi. I paired an Enchi to her, and that was like 5 6 years ago. And we lived down at the other house, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try my hand at breeding snakes, and she produced a clutch for me. That was my first year. I had like one clutch, and the second year I produced I think 4 or 5 clutches.
Okay.
And this past year, because we moved, I only had 2 clutches. But I don't know how this year's going to turn out. My season always seems to run late.
Right. So well, all right. So now we're gonna talk like ball python topic. So what kind of racks do you use, man? You use PVC, you use Freedom Breeder, you use ARS, like
Freedom Breeder. When I got in, I really went heavy. I got a credit card, and I maxed that puppy out. Bought a rat rack and a couple different sized like racks from. They're just down the road from me, Freedom Breeder, so I didn't have to pay
okay.
for shipping. So I was like, yeah, I'm going Freedom Breeder. I dropped like $8,000 right off the bat into my racks.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I got a Freedom Breeder. I want Freedom Breeder as well behind me, and I probably won't go back. I like the Freedom Breeder, how they come shipped. You just snap them together, easy peasy. Let's freaking go. What is so for your guys' new breeder as well? If you're a new breeder, if you're just starting off, I gotta ask you, what are some of your problems that you have ran into, and what have you done to fix those problems?
Um, I think it was mostly rat production. At first, I didn't have an air conditioner on there, and I lost my rats twice. And one year was, I think it was last year. I'm building them back up still, but PG&E shut my power off because of high winds. I live up in the hills, and they're worried about fire and shit like that. So yeah, they turned my power off, and it was like 100 and something that one a couple of days in a row while the power was off, and there's nothing I could do. And like all of my rats died except for 3.
Damn. So you have to so you have to pay for your rats, like as a like 'cause
Yeah.
you don't breed your own rats right now, do you?
Oh, I do. Right now, they're getting back up there. I got about half a rack full now, and feed some, and then save some back. And
Okay, gotcha. So like, are you still buying rats at times though? When
oh
you
yeah,
can't produce enough? Because
oh
you said
yeah,
you have yeah, you said you have like 50 or so snakes. You have more snakes than I do because I have like 34, 36 ish right now, and I know I gotta do it at times. So like, you're saying that you gotta do it too?
oh yeah. I'll buy frozen thawed the little fuzzies. I'll buy those, and I'll keep them in the freezer, and then I'll go down to the local pets down here in Fresno, and I'll pick up like the smalls, and I'll get like 40 or
Okay.
50 at a time.
So what's your 10-year plan, man? Like, do you have a 10-year plan, 5-year plan? Like, what are you thinking?
Um, yeah. I'm working on getting the double heads up, and I figure once they're up, it's gonna take a couple years to grow them out before I start seeing visuals for one project, and then the next project will kind of fall. Desert Ghost. Hopefully, I hit a Desert Ghost Pied this year.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh dude, that's insane. So so are you going so you're building your het army right now, correct?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what you're saying? So
yeah. I started head.
you're having a lot of holdbacks and like whatnot. So have you created any holdbacks right now that are just insane for your projects? If so, can we see them?
Uh, yeah, sure. I pulled out the monsoon. That was one of my holdbacks. This is the sister right here, and I'm pretty sure this one's going to turn out to be het monsoon as well. And it's a Mystic Calico 66% het monsoon.
Try to hold it still a little bit. You're a little blurry. I think that's only because of you being on Sneaker. I know StreamYard is having problems.
Yeah. Oh, she don't want to hold still. I got 2 of these.
They never want to hold still.
Maybe the male will hold still. I got a male that looks just like her. Oh yeah, he's holding. He's holding still a little better.
Check him out. Boy up. There we go. Hell yeah, he is. That's really clear. So that's what is that? Calico Banana Het Monsoon?
Yeah, and with Mystic, yeah.
Oh, with Mystic? Okay. You got a little bit of the wonky, you got a little bit of the alien heads dragging together that would suggest Het Monsoon. Because you get that with the Het Monsoons as well. So hell yeah, dude, that's what's up.
And he got 2 nice stripes.
Yep, I like it, man.
Yeah,
very nice.
He's on Morph Market.
Oh, he's on Morph Market, huh? So if you guys want to get into a Het Monsoon project, check out Elite Exotics on Morph Market and go buy that thing. Like, let's go. I still have a Mojave Het Hypo female up for sale as well on Morph Market. If you're local, it's a little bit cheaper. If I got to ship, my shipping prices are included into my price. But it is what it is. So that's just how I do it. So how much did you invest starting off?
My big investment was the racks at about $8,000, and I started with Het, so my overhead wasn't real high. Now, I've only put in about $30K over the past 6 years. And
yeah, $30K, huh?
Yeah, only about 30. I didn't go crazy.
Okay. So you've been breeding since 2021. So you've been breeding since about probably when I started. I started in I got my first big purchase in 2020 at the end of 2020. And you said that you started in 2021, so you have about 30K. So, and you produced your Monsoon. So, yeah, I can see where you're at, but your collection's probably worth a little bit more than that because of that Monsoon and that Zebra. Because as you guys know, ball pythons, they never regress in price with age. They actually increase with age as well because you can breed them. You can, they're ready to go. So what's your 10-year plan, man? What's your end goal? Do you plan on having, 200, 300, 1,500 snakes? What do you plan on, man?
I'd like to max out at maybe 200, 300 snakes, and it'll mostly be the recessive stuff. I'd really like to get a 4 or 5 recessives all together. I think it'd just be too cool to have just 2 of those together and just a whole flood of just different stuff. The whole clutch, just all recessive, just different stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. So you think the market is going more towards double recessive, triple recessives, quad recessives than anything?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree 100% with you, man. So what's your based off of your collection, what is your ultimate morph that you are shooting for to hold back?
Man, that's hard to say. I just kind of take it year to year, and I got kind of plans all the way out to 25, 26, maybe 27. But that just depends on if I hit a sunset and a GH or a GHI, an Axanthic clown. I'm hoping I hit an Axanthic clown. I really like the way those look. They got that sharpness and the 2 colors really nice.
Yeah, I got a leopard double het VPI clown breeding to a normal VPI clown. So I'm hoping I can hit a leopard VPI clown visual. That'd be badass for sure.
Yeah.
Just off of that het pairing. Uh, I mean, I like VPI clowns. I loved them. I always loved them. I know Billy created the first leopard VPI clown for sure. So I mean, like we'll see where that goes. I mean, I bought them as a pair. They are breeding this year. We will see what happens. I'm hoping to have, I don't know, 5 to 6 females breeding for me this year. How many are you expecting to lay this year for you?
Maybe eight to 10 clutches. They're acting like they're gonna lay, so I'm hoping. The season just runs kind of late. I got
Right.
clowns there, and I'm hoping the clowns go, and then the sunset. I'd like to get some puzzle in here too. You know, the puzzle.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you don't have any visual puzzle, do you?
No, not yet.
No, you're just trying to prove out stuff and just you're just going the long route with it, correct?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's cheaper sometimes. If it proves out, it proves out. I mean, that's just how you gotta do it. That was the same thing with my VPI Xanthic clowns. Like I don't have any visual VPI Xanthics. If I can make one, cool, awesome. If I can hit it, I don't know if I'm going to sell it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. Like, we'll see the way the market's going. I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, hopefully you hit like 2 of them or 3 of them.
That'd be dope. That'd be insane odds, dude. It really double head. Like, let's go. So, what I want to know what for everyone that's watching right now. Like, what is your personal intake on the economy and I mean, I know a lot of it is going on the ball python recession. So I want to know what you think about that, man.
I think there's just a small setback, but all the stuff that's hard to hit, it's still hard to hit. So I don't think the value has dropped really on it. I mean, I've noticed on Morph Market people are dropping a little bit, but I don't think they really lost their value. The visuals that are hard to hit.
Yeah, I mean they are hard to hit. You still have to hit the odds on it. I do believe that, like I said before, that the market is kind of correcting itself a little bit. Your single gene clowns, your single gene stuff is dropping a little bit, lower, but your high dollar stuff is still staying high dollar stuff. Like your sunset and stuff like that. Like it only drops if that one person doesn't post on Morph Market that $4,500 price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's why it drops. It's that one person. Like, hey, he just sold a single gene sunset, say male, for 4,000 when they're typically going for 6,000. Like. I mean, like, what do you expect? Like, hey, I can get. I mean, like I said before, like quality determines price for sure. Like, don't short yourself on that. I truly believe that 100%. You gotta know what you have because I've seen some shit quality sunsets and stuff like that are already brown as shit. Because we know that sunset browns out really bad. And I think that's why the prices has dropped a little bit because people realize that the sunset like the sunset in general just browns out. But I mean, at the same point in time, I mean, you gotta think about it like, you're dictating the market a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I figure those people that drop the price, low and just sell real quick. I think they're just looking for a quick buck.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
And then once that snake is gone, it's gone. I mean, the rest of them are still there at the regular price. And yeah, one person got a deal, and they could always try to talk a deal or something, and that's always a possibility. But it just depends on on what the market is kind of doing at the same time.
Right, for sure. So for the people that don't know, I do keep some things secret, but if you want to tune in the podcast and watch the podcast, you can. We're already 40 minutes into it. I got 11. I'm up to 11 to 20 viewers right now. So I'm going to let you guys know that I like to watch some secrets and stuff. But like I'm not going to post some secrets. But for the ones that want to follow me are all about it. I do have a hypo puzzle on hold that I spent big money on. So I went the hypo puzzle visual. I'm not going to post it because it's going to be a long kept secret, kind of. But I mean, if you guys tune into the podcast, there you go. That is what a secret is about. I thank you guys for the support on that. So I'll let you guys on a little secret type thing. So I know Carter's not freaking big on the puzzle at all. I love puzzle. Like, what are your thoughts on puzzle, man?
Yeah, I like puzzle. Puzzle's cool. I couldn't afford a visual, but I got a possible hit, and I bought a 100% hit when I think right before COVID, and I was hoping that I get lucky like the monsoon and hit one, but I just got to wait and see.
For
I'm in
sure.
no hurry.
So what? Okay, so we're gonna talk about elite things real quick. So what do you think will work with zebra, and what do you think that will not work with zebra at all? It's a very new gene. I mean, it's a very crazy subject just to talk about. But since you have one, I mean, I'll bring up this conversation because like you know where I'm coming from. Since I have a single gene one that's a female, and you have a pastel one. I mean, do you think pastel is the future of the zebra gene?
Uh, well, Adam was saying that it's a brightening gene, so I'm thinking, like Desert Ghost, which is a brightening gene. I think the two of them are going to make just an amazing animal.
Yes, for sure.
And then that Orange Dream one that he has on there is that one just blows my mind because it just the colors, the orange, the striping, it's just great.
Oh yeah, it is. It's fantastic, dude. Like, but I've seen them as older, and I wasn't a fan of them. Now, like after I bought the zebra, so I was like, I'm just gonna get a single gene. I'm gonna work myself into what I want. Inquine says, but maybe a goes hypo zebra or DG. And dude, like I'm shooting like with my pairing in the fall. Like I said, I am breeding a leopard DG hypo to a zebra. So I'm gonna get triple heads. Hopefully I can hit leopard in it. It's going. Hopefully I can hit the triple visual on it because I ain't messing around. Because I believe like if you're just starting off, you got to go big or go home. So you got to make those triple het armies, those double het armies. You got to do what you got to do. So that's my route. I'm going to take it with. I don't know how it's going to pan out because I said nothing's been done with zebra, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I figure this fall my Desert Ghost should be big enough, and my Pied's just about big enough, and he's been in there to kind of trigger them to eat a little bit, but I haven't seen a lock or nothing. So I figure, another couple weeks or another month and a half, maybe two, they might go. They might Desert Ghost and the Pied.
Right.
Then
For
I could
sure.
tell from the Desert Ghost because 100% hip Pied, and I'll know which ones are hip Pied.
So do you work? I mean, do you work full time as well as breed snakes part time?
Oh yeah. I work full time in construction, so yeah, I'm busy. I'm up at 4 in the morning and getting ready for work, and out of here by 4:30, 4:45, and not getting home till about 5 o'clock, and then over to the snake room for a couple hours, check on things, change waters, spot
Okay.
clean.
So you guys see, like, I'm just doing this real quick so you guys can see a little bit of like everyday life. Like, this isn't a full-time breeder. He does what I do because I go work factory for 12 hours a day. And then I come home, deal with the rats. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for tuning in. Jeremy will be in on the podcast next following week with Gavin, me, and Car Reptiles. So that will be a fun one. So make sure you guys tune into that one for sure. That'll be a fun one. So, but anyhow, like, I get where you're coming from for sure. Like, I mean, like, coming out of factory and stuff and going home, like Thursdays I clean rats and stuff. So like I spent probably like, 12 hours at the factory. I mean, I did spend 12 hours at the factory because I worked 6 to 6. And then I went to go work out, and then I came home and I did, the rats and stuff. So I probably pulled like a 16, 17-hour day, went to sleep, went back home. Went to sleep, went back to work. So, I mean, I understand the dedication to it. So hell yeah, dude. I mean, it takes dedication for anybody to do this shit, dude. I mean, it's insane,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, routine.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you definitely got some heat. You're going in the right. I believe that you're going the right path for sure. That's why I wanted to bring you on here as well. Again, we are doing the Free for All podcast. So if you guys want in on the Free for All podcast, John's going to come back and talk snake topics with the rest of us as well. We're going to talk about everything. It's going to last more than an hour and a half. I can't wait for that. It's going to be fun. Car's going to come back on. We get him a break. So
very cool. Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting, man. So what are your, besides the zebra and the monsoon, like what are your other plans, man?
Well, maybe next year I'm probably going to go for the Axanthic clown. See if I can prove out that Axanthic. I got a clown. It was last year, the year before last, from Old Troy Reptiles. And
Okay.
he let me know a year later. He goes, "Hey, that the male that produced your girl turned out to be 100% het VPI Axanthic." So I was like, "Really?" And so like I do my research. I get on Morph Market and search the web and do everything to see if there's any similarities between the 100% VPI Axanthic and het Axanthic and a clown. And I saw a lot of them in her, and I was like, man, I got to get a het, at least a double het. And I found it on Morph Market. I think it was last year for $100, a double het.
Really?
Yeah, a pastel double het VPI Axanthic het clown. Yeah, I can pull them out. I tried pairing them last year, but
let's see
they didn't go. But you can definitely see the VPI Axanthic in them.
All right, let's see it. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that that white coming up on them. That het VPI, look for sure, man.
And he'll get a chance next year. And she seems to eat really well too. So,
all right. While he's with the VPI Axanthic heads, this is how crazy the het influence is on these. Dude, it's insane. So I would say I have a normal VPI clown that's het. She's double het, but she's a normal. But you can see how crazy this het influences this. So I don't think I've ever really shown her off because at times she's just been a normal. But like while we're talking elite things, I mean, let's talk elite things, guys. I mean, you can see how much wider, like around the alien heads, that the VPI creates of these normals and stuff, man. I mean, she's just not a regular normal. I mean, it's insane. But she is a normal double het VPI clown. I mean, you just see the outline of those alien heads, how they're all white.
Ah.
That's insane.
Yeah, some of them hets really have a big influence on stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%, man. For sure. So do you plan on, so like what's your end goal? Do you plan on having like 1,500 snakes? Do you plan on having 500 snakes? Do you want to do this full time? What are you thinking, John?
Well, when I first got into it, I thought of it just like a hobby, breed every few snakes a year. And then the more I got into it, it was like, might be able to turn this into like a retirement thing
Yes.
where I could do this and then checking other places out, and it'd all be a write-off, a tax write-off at the end of the year if I made it a business and went to shows and got to hang out there and be around snakes all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So definitely a full-time thing.
Where are you from? Where are you from exactly? You're on the West Coast, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm up in Toll House above Fresno.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, hell yeah, dude. So, so let's say, how much did you invest in?
I'm up 30K deep right now.
About 30K. How much have you sold so far?
I'd say about 20.
About 20. So he's about even. So if you guys go a little bit higher end on this, you can kind of see where you can kind of make out a little bit. And I mean, like you have bred your own rats and stuff, correct? I know that makes a big impact on your profit and stuff like that as well. So, I mean, I mean, there's money to be made into it, but at the same point in time, you still have animals to take care of. You want them healthy. Have you ran into any mite problems, man?
When I first got in, yeah, when my collection was a lot smaller, I'd had maybe 10 snakes, and yeah, I caught mites from a snake I got off of I think it was Craigslist, and I looked into how do I get rid of these things. I went with the one back then. It was Nix, the Nix lice treatment. Put it in a gallon jug and shake it up and put it in a spray bottle and spray everything. And of course, clean out the bed, water dish and stuff. But yeah, I got rid of the mites, and I had them one other time after that. God, it must have been a year after that. I got another snake. I think it was from Pomona up there, and yeah, I did the same thing. I just got a spray bottle, filled it with the stuff, and treated everything, and I got rid of the mites.
And I dealt with mites my very first year. I got a snake from somebody, which I think is what did it. I didn't quarantine because I was the type at that time that was like, oh, it's not going to happen to me. And then I was cleaning tubs and I realized I had mites, and it was a pain in the ass.
Definitely.
So I think, honestly, guys, I think I'm going to do a video of how to prevent mites, because everyone, if you haven't dealt with it, it honestly sucks. And the process you have to do to get rid of them is not fun. So I'm going to do a prevention video on my YouTube as well to show you guys how to prevent from getting mites, because it's not fun at all when you do get them. This is 100% guarantee you not to have mites at all in your collection. I know that Will from Semperfi, he bought some, and it was a questionable breeder that was local, and he had to quarantine, treat them, and I mean, and when I went with him to go get those snakes, and they were just, I mean, you could tell right from the get-go. I mean, you could see them crawling on the snakes. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, that's no mites. I don't want to have them ever again. I haven't had them since those 2 times. I've been real cautious since then. And, well, I haven't brought a whole lot of stuff. Like when I first jumped in, and I got a few snakes right off the bat, and then after that, it was just like, well, every year I'm going to pick up one project and kind of work with that. and I kind of stuck to that plan so far. I don't know if next year I'm going to pick up any because collection's getting good size, and I kind of got what I want to work with.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So why don't you tell everybody how you incubate your eggs and stuff, so we have an idea of how you do that for anybody that's a new type of breeder or that's just getting into this, that has an idea what's going on, and maybe like, because I know that different people have their different processes. Like my process may be different from yours, but I just want to know, like, how do you incubate your eggs and stuff, man?
Well, I got an old wine cooler, and here, I'll just reposition my camera. I got it sitting up on the rack there, and that's it right over right there. Yeah, that's it right there. And yeah, I just put a little heat pad at the bottom, one of those ones that you stick on the bottom of a tank, and put some water bottles on it. And it has a thermostat built in, and I got a thermostat that runs into it that the heat pad plugs into, and so it's kind of double regulated, so I can watch the temperatures. And this year I actually bought a push sensor to stick in there to see exactly what's going on. But I've had pretty good luck with that incubator. I do have a big one, but I haven't had to need it yet.
Okay, so you make your own incubator and stuff, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's what's up, man. So like, so you went the cheaper route with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how, well, like, and you were 100% hash rate with that, correct?
Yeah. Except for the two monsoons that died in the egg, and since then I found there's kind of a thing with the monsoons where not all of them make it, I guess.
See, I know that Billy from Mutation Creations did have that problem when he first started. I know that he had a clutch of monsoons that did not make it. I mean, it's tough because I can't say it's an incubation problem because he hatches so many clutches out of that incubation process. So, I mean, it could be a monsoon problem. I mean, do you think it's a monsoon problem?
Yeah, I think there is a little niche to it there that there's something going on, but all the rest of the babies, except for those two monsoons, they all made it.
I mean, that's for sure. So, I mean, like so you made your visual monsoon head to head, and the one egg that survived was the all gener,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, I
I mean,
got
what are
lucky.
the odds of that?
Right? Yeah,
That's insane.
my double hit desert ghost pies. I didn't hit no desert ghost pies, but I hit three desert ghosts and a pied, and I kept, of course, the desert ghost, and I kept a pied, and then I sold a couple desert ghosts too.
Right. So I got at. So do you think that monsoon's actually recessive, or do you think it's actually more of a super form? I want to know your intake on this. What up, Kai? Thank you for joining in, dude. We are having a great weekend. Hey, Kai, I hope to see you on the free for all in 2 weeks because I got Warfuls and Gavin next week with Carr. So we're doing the free for all next week. John's going to come back. I know Kent's going to come on. I know we're going to have a lot of people on. It's going to be a great time. So, anyhow, back to the question and stuff. Do you think that monsoon itself is more of a codom, or do you think it's actually the recessive form of this?
It's really hard to say, but I'd say it's recessive with really if you know what you're looking for on the markers, and I think there's more to be done to find markers and stuff and really figure out what they are. But uh, yeah, I think it just has high markers for the recessive.
I agree with you 100% after studying it, looking at more market, what's available on the Het Monsoon. You can definitely see the markers on the Het Monsoons. And I'm only basing this off the fact because I see the same thing as the Het Zebras. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
if you go on Morph Market, since you have a visual zebra as well as I do, you can see how the het markers play with this gene but you know it's not a visual because it doesn't look like a visual. There is a slightly difference, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, for sure. So
Yeah, I got
that's huge. So what do you have? What do you have going in the incubator right now, or like what is your most top pairing? As well as anyone that's listening, please drop down those questions for John. If you have any questions for him, throw them down in the comments real quick, and I will answer them. I'll throw them up on the board, and we will answer them. But for right now, what what is your most anticipated pairing for this year?
most anticipated pairing I'd say is the zebra clown clutches I got. Both clowns look like they're going to go. They're curling up. They're starting to nest and roll and warm up on the hot spot. So, yeah, really hoping to hit that.
So you said that your biggest investment is going to be obviously the Zebra Boy, correct?
Yeah, that was like the first real big investment that I jumped into. Everything else was pretty much, except for like the clowns and stuff, but they weren't real expensive.
Right. Yeah. Clowns aren't too expensive, but it depends on what you want to do with them. Are you doing any visual clown stuff, the head clown stuff that are just powerhouses? I know Carr just had a lock that was a powerhouse type of lock. I'm not going to disclose that because I'm going to let him do that on the next podcast because he, like I said, he's coming on with Carr. We're going to have Gavin come back on, and we're going to have Jeremy on the podcast next week. So I'm not going to disclose that one. That's his. So, like, what do you think, man?
Well, I'm hoping to hit some good stuff. I know the zebra clown project is going to be a fun one, and next year I'm definitely gonna pair her up if she gets back up to size to the double head I got down here, and hopefully hit an axanthic clown because that worked great into some future projects.
Yeah, it does for sure, 100%. What do you think that belongs in clown? What do you think that does not belong in clown? Like, what is that must have gene that you gotta have in clown compared to what is that gene that you just absolutely like, I hope I missed the freaking odds on it?
Well, I got the Itchy up there. They both, of course, have pastel. I like pastel, and I'm hoping that I'd like to see a super pastel. I like that. I almost got into almost got a super pastel GHI clown.
Okay.
And I told the guy, I said, this really looks like this. You know, what was the pairing? And the snake was underpriced, of course. And he pulled it right off a Morph Market and said he sold it to a friend. So I didn't get that when I was like, oh, maybe I should have kept my mouth shut, you know, and then asked. But whatever. It is what it is.
So do you like chocolate and clown? Do you like Mojave and clown? Do you like Cypress and clown, Red Stripe and clown?
I like GHI and clown.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I do like the Mojave clowns. I do like the Cypress and Red Stripe clowns as well. The chocolate and the Wookiee are obviously a Lilac. I mean, they act as a super. They are badass. So, I mean, if you can come up with some kind of combo, I think Black Pastel is where it's at as well in clowns. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of routes that you can go. I mean, like, what route are you hoping to take it? I mean, are you following a path? Are you hoping? Because I mean, the demand for that kind of stuff is so high, and people are producing is so low because you have to hit the odds on it. Do you have anything of that sort that you're hoping to hit, man?
I'm hoping to get some Orange Dream into it.
Okay.
So, or Super Orange Dream maybe down the road, and Enchi and the visual, of course, the visual clown in there. Let's see.
So, I mean, the super ODs and stuff. I mean, I can't say I have seen too much of them in clown, but I know Ozzy works a lot of that OD stuff. So, like Carr said, he said, "What up, Zach? Thank you for tuning in." He said, "Fire GHI Mojave Red Stripe with Chocolate Wookie, Black Pastel, Bongo. Bongo is badass in clown. If you guys haven't seen Garrick, I did have him on the podcast as well at some point. You guys can go back and watch that. Bongo is, I think, is huge in clown because the super bongo clown is badass. The Cypress Pied, OD, and Yellow Belly are so good. Car, don't lie to me. You know, Stranger is good as well in the Clown Pied. So we'll let him release that one. That's a little hint. So what is up, Black Magic, Mike? I'm terrible at names. I believe that is your name. Thank you so much for tuning in. People do say that Cypress is amazing for clown, which it is. Do you have any Cypress stuff?
No Cypress stuff, not yet.
So you want to add Cypress into your collection then?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be moving that.
So what is your Black Heart? I really hope you come on for the free for all as well. I hope to have you on, dude. It'll be a good time. But anyhow, so what do you think is your least favorite gene for you personally?
I think Pinstripe. I really don't care for Pinstripe. Although I got Pinstripe, I've just been kind of trying to move it out of my collection, though.
So no Pinstripe at all. Do you own any Pinstripe?
Yeah, I got a little bit of stuff here that's Pinstripe. My daughter's got a few snakes in here. One of them I gave to her that I produced a while back, and we paired that one up, and it looks like it might lay eggs too. It was to a super pastel orange dream Mojave.
Maybe I could change your mind a little bit. Let me see if I can change your mind. So I have a blackhead. She's a blackhead. What is she? She's a blackhead pin hypo. Because I love hypo. Girl, she's close to laying, I think. I will pull her out because she's gotten better with age. I mean, she's growing some follicles with the ultrasound video that we did. So do you guys look at the blackhead pin hypo girl? I think she looks really good. I don't mind pin and clown at all. I'm hoping that the Red Stripe Enchi Clown Boy sired this clutch. We shall see. Have you seen a pin clown? Which I'm sure you have.
Yeah, I've seen them on Morph Market. It's just how powerful the Pinstripe is, how it kind of takes over a little bit.
I agree, but so you don't feel the same way about like how Pinstripe reacts as it is with Monsoon, correct?
Yeah, it's similar. It's real similar, except I like that Monsoon's recessive.
That is 100% fact because recessive holds their value a little bit more and longer over time. I get where you're coming from as well with that. So if you were a new breeder, let's say that you were starting over again, what would you change?
I think I would have bought a little more higher end stuff to start out.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I would have went with the Freedom Breeder racks, of course, right off the bat. But yeah, I would have gone with more visual recessives to get the ball rolling.
Okay. So did you go? So you said you wish you would have brought your Freedom Breeder racks first compared to what you have now. So did you spend more money on your racks first over your snakes? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So with that being said, so my philosophy on this is you spend more money on your snakes first over your racks. What do you think about that?
Everyone to their own. I mean, everybody comes up with their own little plan to make things happen, and yeah, I would have got the racks, and I probably wouldn't have had to get the full rat rack, but I probably wouldn't have got the rat rack. I would have gone with the snake racks
Okay.
and probably built my own rat racks. I did it first, but I would have kept those for a little longer and
So
gone
you
with.
have so do you have a Freedom Breeder rodent rack that you breed your rodents out of?
Yeah.
Can can we see that?
Oh yeah, sure.
I want to see that because I was contemplating that. I know Carr was contemplating that. Like I want to see what that looks like, man. So that is the Freedom Breeder rodent rack, correct?
Yes. Yeah. These are them right here, and
Can you
yeah,
show
this one.
can you show us that setup real quick, like how that runs and stuff? Can you go over that whole entire rack for us?
Sure thing. Let me get back here a little bit so you guys can see it.
For sure.
Down a little bit, and
And what rodent rack exactly is this?
I think it's the 1040,
Okay.
832, the 832, and I built my own bottom for this one here for because I wanted to split it in half. I didn't like it being so tall.
Yeah.
But the tubs slide out quite a bit, and I keep like two rats in there, a male and a female. I keep them together with the babies and all that in there. This one's got little ones in it. And they're pretty friendly.
For sure. So how much did you spend on that rack?
This rack was, I think, almost $4,000.
Yeah, they're pretty pricey. So would you rather go back in time and build I mean, since you say that you build some of your PVC stuff, so would you rather have took that money and built your own, rodent rack and put that money towards your snake racks instead?
I probably would have taken the money and bought into like Desert Ghost
Okay.
and a couple of pieds and maybe gone that route to make my own Desert Ghost pied heads and maybe a couple of puzzles or something. I couldn't afford a Sunset back then. They were
Right. They were really expensive back then.
yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is you would rather not bought that Freedom Breeder rodent rack, would have built it and took that money and invested into your snakes elsewhere, correct?
Yeah.
So,
I don't want
so
to.
I got asked, is that one of your biggest regrets as a business owner?
Yeah. I wish I would have just bought in on the things everybody was talking about. You know, just get hits back then, and more going to co-doms and dominant. And I wish I would have just went and started getting visual recessives and raising them up, the females, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. So that is pretty much what I've been preaching about. My philosophy is that you invest more into your snakes, and if you can build your own racks with your rodents and stuff like that, you do that to save money, to invest more into your snakes. I know that Carr wants to get a Freedom Breeder rodent rack as well, kind of similar to what you have. I'm like, dude, that's straight another snake rack that's a Freedom Breeder instead, because it's pretty much the same price. What would you recommend for him? Would you rather him spend that money on a Freedom Breeder snake rack or a Freedom Breeder rodent rack? Like, what do you think, man?
If I was him, I'd build my own rack And those concrete tubs, I found that if you border the top part around the top,
Yeah.
they can't chew out.
Right.
They can't chew.
Yes.
I figured out putting a 1x there and just putting a screw through the plastic to hold the 1x there. And after I did that, I stopped having chew outs.
Yes. Because I use the PVC pipes. I come according to length to make the tubs tighter to the plywood or to the wood itself in general. So I want to have chew outs as well. And those racks cost me maybe $500 to $1,000 depending on such. And that saves me $3,000 compared, you know what I mean, like to a Freedom Beer like rodent rack. I mean, they were crazy expensive.
Yeah, you could definitely for $3,000 right now. You could probably get a Desert Ghost with some co-doms in there or doms in, and be way ahead.
Be way ahead. So, I mean, that's I like that you say that because that gives people a perspective that's just starting off. Like, how'd you spend their money? Are you LLC or like any type of tax?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. This year, I finally got enough snakes, and I figured I'm going to have some snakes that are a little more than, a couple $100 a piece. So I'm going to need to, so that I don't get hit real hard for the IRS or something.
So my question to you is, why didn't you do that sooner? Because how I am LLC'd, I am subtracting. I'm going to give you guys some information real quick. Because you guys know I am 419 Moors LLC, so I am officially LLC'd. So I can sit there because I am LLC'd, and this is where you come from, with the LLC, is I can sit there and I can subtract and deduct off of my W-2 because I work full time. All my expenses with breeding rodents, all the bedding, all the snake bedding, I can deduct my breeder females. Everything that I buy, I can deduct off a certain amount of years, depending on how good your accountant is. Don't get me wrong, because how I do it is, I work on a W-2, obviously, and then all my expenses and stuff like that off the business get subtracted off my W-2. So let's say I spent $20,000 on the business on 419 Moors. So technically, we'll just say I made $100,000 off my factory. So therefore, my expenses get subtracted off of that. So therefore, I'm making $80,000, so I get a tax break. Okay. So why haven't you LLC'd yourself sooner to get those deductions off your rat bedding, your snake bedding, all that, dude? Like, you can get all those. You can write off all that. Yeah, you're going to show a loss, but it's not a bad thing because you're eventually going to show a profit, come year 4 or 5.
Yeah, I just didn't know any better.
No, you didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I'm not real business savvy on that end, so it's new to me. It's good information though, definitely good information. I plan on this year going LLC and.
So, like I said, this is why I LLC'd myself from the straight beginning, because of Biden's plan with PayPal, all those payment plans that most people use when they buy snakes. You automatically have to claim a 1040, no matter what. Like, if you show that you receive a certain amount of money, so why not get your deductions, prior to that? So I can sit there and I can subtract my rat bedding, my rat food, my snake bedding. If I had to buy feeders or whatever, I can subtract all that. It doesn't matter. What kind of rat bedding do you use, man?
It's the pine bedding from Walmart. I go there and I get what I can. Either it's aspen or it's the pine bedding.
Okay, can I offer you a tip real quick? How often do you change your bedding out?
About every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, really?
Yeah, yeah. I give
Okay,
about
so obviously, as you guys know, because I follow the channel and stuff, like I do at my house. So every 2 weeks is not feasible for me, I guess you can say. So I use the horse pellet bedding. It absorbs moisture and the urate's better off of them. It doesn't smell as bad as well. And it's actually cheaper than the aspen bedding. John, I would extremely look for you to look into, the horse pellet bedding. And if you're changing your bedding every 2 weeks, you might go from every 2 weeks to every 3 weeks, and it might be cheaper for you, bro.
yeah, yeah. That's a good tip. I'm gonna look into that definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
after 2 weeks, they start to smell bad, and it's time to clean them and switch them out.
Yeah, so I would definitely look into the horse pellet pine bedding. Look into that. You can get it shipped to you from Family Farm, Tractor Supply, all that stuff. I mean, you can get a discount on it if you buy through the pellet too. But I think I pay like $7 a bag on it. So
Oh,
it's like here it costs me probably like, I don't know, $200 every 3 weeks to breed my own rats compared to buying. And I mean, it's just my labor or whatever, just changing the bedding out. So that might be a tip for you to check into. It will save the smell, it will save the time, and you might be able to go a little longer without cleaning them.
yeah. That'd be nice. It'd cut down on the workload for sure.
Yes, for sure. Because when I went to aspen and pine bedding here in my house, because I breed my rodents upstairs, the smell was absolutely atrocious. Because I was at that time, if you guys have followed Instagram and stuff like that, I was breeding out of the cages. I did not have the rack system yet that I bought off of Chris Brown from Ohio Reptiles. So make sure you guys check him out as well. I bought my rodent system from him because he already had some that were pre-made that were just sitting there, and I was using the aspen as well, and I would do like the smell was so bad that I was changing it out every 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. And then I switched over to the horse pellets type pine type stuff, and now I gotta switch it out every once a week. I do it every Thursday. So I will literally come home from a 12-hour shift, go to the gym if I have to, and then go spend another, I don't know, fucking 2 hours or whatever, like clean the rodents out.
Ah,
Because like I'll sit there and I'll pull a 16-hour day in my eyes, between lifting, working out, and dealing with the rats and stuff, and between doing that between like once a week to compare to 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, that makes a big difference, dude, especially money wise.
definitely. Yeah, I need
So,
to. My old cat room was. I had framed it off the side, and at first I made it 6 by 6, and then I realized that wasn't quite enough room for the whole rack, and so I extended it another 4 feet and framed it up. And I had my snake room in a tough shed, and I think I'm going to get that tough shed. Have one of the tow trucks with a flatbed. They can pull it up on there, and I can have it brought to the new house and dropped off. So I got a rat room.
yeah, shit here. Oh yeah, for sure, man. So, like I said, I mean, it's just I hope you learned a little bit of everything like on this podcast and stuff. I know you don't have that many subscribers on YouTube and Instagram. That's why I brought you on the podcast. So if you guys have not subscribed to Elite Exotics, make sure you subscribe to him, man. I mean, like, he has some fire stuff coming for sure.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
appreciate you bringing it on.
oh yeah, for sure, man. That's what I'm about, dude. Like I'm all about this industry for sure. So I hope you had fun on the podcast. I'm hitting about the hour and a half mark on this podcast. I will for sure send you an invite for the free-for-all because we're just going to be talking ball python topics. It's going to exceed the hour and a half time limit on this for sure. When we'll just talk general topics. I'm glad you came on for sure. It was fun. You got some heat, dude. I will definitely be following you. We'll probably bring you back on, eventually. I would absolutely love to have you back on and see what you produce, see what you're doing, see like what the future holds for you. So I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. What's your YouTube and your Instagram so everyone can subscribe to it, dude?
It's all Elite Exotics BP.
For sure. So if you guys have not subscribed to him, check him out. We are doing that 500 subscriber giveaway. Here is the info on that to everyone that is. Thank you, everyone that is, donating to that. Thank you. We got a pair of clowns that are Dom's Het Pies. Thank you, Car Reptiles. He's always on the podcast. Shout out to you. He will be back on next week because we are booked out until March on that. We got store credits towards Matt Yates and Blackfire Morse. And we have a swag pack from Chaotic Creations. So make sure to give them a follow. We're going to run that intro one more time on you. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you in, say, probably, 2 weeks for the free-for-all?
Definitely.
For sure, dude. We will be talking ball python topics. I won't be doing a one-on-one intro with you because we already know you. So we're just going to be doing that general-type discussion. Hope you guys had a great time. Take it easy. Roll that intro. Let's go.